right around the country. It is the Jimmy Nath Show. Welcome, everybody.
Nath, please get the round of applause ready for a Grammy-nominated, platinum-selling singer, songwriter, recording artist, producer, and author. Since making her debut at just 12 years of age, she's evolved into a dynamic and versatile artist whose sound blends pop, R&B, soul influences with powerful, emotive vocals. When it comes to her music, she assumes creative control. She writes her own songs, produces, directs, and creates her own visuals and showcases unique artistry through her diaristic lyricism, tackling subjects that include mental health, grief, heartbreak. With an audience of over 70 million on social media, she is one of the most influential voices of her generation. And today, she's here to tell us about her brand new music as well as her debut shows here in Australia at the end of August. Please welcome to the show, Madison Beer!
Wow. I don't know if anyone's going to ever beat that intro, ever.
It's one thing we're known for, Madison, and we tell everybody who's impressed by intros is the intros are good, the interviews are shithouse. Yeah.
Well, I'm moved, so your job is done. It was nice to meet you guys.
Thank you
much.
so much.
See you later. Thanks, Madison.
We love the LEDs in the bedroom. All the best. Madison Beer coming to Australia soon.
Bye.
One thing I did want to bring up straight away, Madison, and the applause isn't actually for you this time. Jim, my co-host, my best friend, it's actually for you because Madison, he's very bad at saying words. And he said the word diaristic. Yes, he had, about 30 minutes of practice beforehand, but he nailed it first go. Well done to you, James.
I'll be honest, it came from the record label.
A round of applause from Madison
Yeah,
Beer.
thank you, Madison.
It was amazing.
It came from it was in like the press release from the record label. So I threw it in there, but I did not know what it means. We just Googled it before. Do you know what diaristic means?
Of course I do. Absolutely.
Would you like to tell us?
No, I think that might have been the first time I've ever heard that word. If I had to guess, I would assume it means like in a diary style.
Yes!
Or
That's
right?
writing in like a
Or
diary
does it
style.
mean, like,
Yes.
dire?
That's
Yeah,
better
or
than,
I don't know. It could be one or the other.
that's better than mine. I thought it was diarrhea related, and it's. I was like,
Yeah,
why are we including that?
Yeah. Well done. Yes.
That's what all my songs are about. All my songs are, yeah.
15 minutes is about when she had to go to the toilet and she was sitting there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
She's
Who
really
told you that?
Oh,
Who
sorry.
told you that?
Madison
Spilling the
Beer.
tea.
She's got the new shirts out, and she's got a new line of toilet paper.
Yep. You are
Madison, we are so excited for you to come to Australia. We've been so excited for this interview, actually. We're massive fans of yours. Our team are huge fans of yours, so much so that we were given so many warnings before we came in here from our team saying, don't say anything fucked to Madison Beard, please.
And look at the foot we're off on. I love it.
Yeah,
I think
can you just tell the team that the interview is going well so far because they are outside and they are so nervous about this interview. Please let them know.
team, the lawsuit will be waited for. It'll be coming in the couple next weeks. But as of now, it's okay. But I probably am going to be, filing a lawsuit of some sort.
Yeah, she said probably. Okay.
Yes.
She said probably.
This interview will not be heard by any of Australia. Nathan, myself, and our team. That's it.
Yeah. So I will be copyright striking this entire interview. But I'm glad for the time.
I haven't even hit record, so don't worry about it. Madison, so pumped, for you to come to Australia for the very first time. When you found out that you were coming here, were you excited? Is there anything in particular that you want to do? Because I can tell you now these shows are going to sell out instantly. Yeah. So are you going to have time to do anything?
Thanks. I'm going to make sure that I have time because it's my first time coming there. So I want to hold a koala, hold a kangaroo, avoid all the spiders at all costs.
Yes.
But I'm mainly excited to meet and see so many people that I feel like I've been seeing online for so many years. I've always said please come and I want to see you live. And now they're going to be there. So I'm just really excited to share those nights with the fans that have been waiting so long.
You make a good point there as well, and we talk about fans, which I know your fans are so important to you, and I know you make a real point of ensuring that you have this beautiful ability, not just through your music, but through everything you do to really connect with your fans. What is a way that you find is the easiest way to connect through your fans when they flock to your shows, when they reach out to you online and all that kind of stuff? How do you've got millions of people who adore you. How do you possibly find a way to connect to them?
I think that's a great question, and I think it's something that is hard to. I don't know how to articulate this. It's something that I find is hard to properly maintain because I think the social media can be really difficult to navigate. I think that it's tough to address a specific group of people when there are so many people that don't actually really care that much probably also watching. There's just a bit of a weird nuance that I think comes with social media, but I honestly, my favorite way to connect with them is the shows, and I feel like I do a sort of a sound check Q&A thing before my
Oh,
concert.
wow.
It's like the VIP experience, and it's so fun. And I basically like they submit questions beforehand because if they were all shouting stuff out, I'm sure not one question would get answered. But we print something out beforehand and I read off the questions and we just have such funny moments. And I think that those are the ways that I mean, seeing people in person is to me the best way to connect, obviously. But I mean, I do these little live streams sometimes and I'll stream on Twitch once in a while and little things like that where I try to just keep them, I don't know, here.
Yeah.
It's hard to,
Well,
you know,
you're doing a very good job at it.
I have a weird relationship with social media and I kind of like struggle in general with how I feel about being on it, period. But then it's
Sure.
hard when I'm off of it because I'm like, oh, there's people that, you know, probably are wondering what's going on with me and are invested and
Yeah.
that's a responsibility in a way. But I guess as I'm growing up, when I was like 16, I didn't have these thoughts as much, but as I'm growing up, I'm like, I need to figure out a way that I can sustain it, but also healthily live my real life and be off of
Absolutely.
it. And I also, as I'm growing up with my fans, which I think is something that is like really special about my fan base, is a lot of us have grown up together and a lot of us have known each other for the last 15 years essentially. And I think that as we're all getting a bit older, I don't know, I want that for them as well, where I'm
Yeah.
like, let's spend less time on our phones, even if it means we don't speak as much or see each other as much. Like,
Have you
yeah.
made like a conscious choice to change like what your songs and stuff are about as you've gotten older and your audience has gotten older? Or is that just sort of happened? Like you're like, oh, I've got to write something a bit different now because my audience is getting older. You've just naturally done it and your audience has sort of followed along with it.
Because I started making music when I was 12, there
Yeah.
was sort of a weird period from probably like 18 to 20, I would say, maybe even younger, I don't know,
Yeah.
where I was like, am I allowed to curse? Am I allowed to say sexual things? Like, can I do this now? Because being the baby in the industry and
Yeah.
having everyone always, oh, she's so young and all this and that, you kind of get this weird, like, well, when am I an adult? Like, when can I start saying things that are maybe a little like out of the line? And
Yeah.
so I guess when I made my song Baby, which I was like 19 then, that was my first like, ooh, this is risque. And I was so nervous to like say certain things and whatever. But I think that, yeah, now I'm very much so like anything that feels genuine to me, I put out. But there definitely was a moment where I was like, am I allowed?
Madison, before we do let you go, there was one thing I did want to bring up because we've done some research and we know a big part of last year
intro.
for the intro. What is it? Not diuretic, something else. But we want to talk about the memoir that you released in 2023. The half of it a memoir in April. Now it's been over a year on now, and we need to get your advice because you know you've got a published book out, and Jim and I we have ourselves
out.
just released a brand new book.
Yeah.
We have just released a book.
Pre-order. It's not out yet.
It's a pre-order book.
We can still
And-
make changes. I guess we want some advice to you. As...
we want some advice. We want some advice from somebody who's been in the game and knows how to do it. What should we
would
be
you
doing?
change?
What
Could
should
you change something?
But I don't know what advice I would give. I wouldn't say I'm Mrs. like seasoned on this. I think my biggest takeaway is that I'm really proud that I spent time writing something that felt 100% authentic to me. And I really like, did you ask if I went back and changed stuff?
Well, yeah, would you? If you like now, would you be like, oh, I wish I added something or take something away or...
I think that was the beauty of the book to me was writing it and being like, this is a chapter as well. And if you read it, that's kind of something that I discuss in the book, which is like, we're always forever changing. And I can't wait until I'm on my deathbed, hopefully at 100, to be like, oh, here's my story. Because I think that right now there may be people that can read, you know, the things that I wrote about in this book that it might help them and where they're at in their journey.
Yeah,
and when I
yeah.
wrote the book, you know, when I wrote the book, it felt like the right time. And I think that it's something that we, you know, if you write any type of book, and for anyone who doesn't know, it's like mainly a mental health book about sort of my journey and my story and whatnot. And I think that something like that, the reason that I wanted it to come out when it did was because that in itself is proof that like it's never really finished. Like that part maybe is closed and I can put a ribbon on it and sell a book, but like I'm still living that life. I'm still continuing to add those pages every single day. And that's why I also named it the half of it, is because it is, now that you know the half of it, you still only know the half of it. There's never, you're never going to know the whole story or the whole picture. And
Yeah.
that's something that I think is so important. And as someone
Shouldn't
that's
it be
been
like a quarter of it? Because if you're going to stay to 100, it wouldn't be like a quarter. Anyway, I'm doing math.
She releases the last one at 85.
Yeah.
maybe if there was something that I could change, it would be I had changed the title to the quarter.
Madison Beer, we adore you. Of course, a new single. We are going to give it a spin. It's an absolute belter. 15 minutes available. Sorry, it doesn't go for 15 minutes. It's called 15 minutes.
3 minutes and 9
Yeah,
seconds.
3 minutes and 9 seconds. It's called 15 minutes. Available for stream now. And of course, information on the Australian tour this August. It's going to sell out, guys. So bloody getting quick. Frontiertouring.com.au, from one author to another. Madison Beer, we absolutely adore you. Congratulations. We'll let you go to the toilet now because I don't know what's going on there. So
Thank you.